Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
Tensions between the three major ethnic groups of Ijo, Itsekiri, and Urobo in the Warri Federal Constituency have shown no signs of abating. The age-long acrimony, which resurfaced after the recent Supreme Court ordered delineation exercise in the federal constituency, continues to breed mistrust and unending war of words between the groups. The situation degenerated recently into violent confrontations.
Tempers flared in Warri Township recently as youth of Ijo extraction staged protests to show their displeasure with the removal of the 10th anniversary banner of the Pere Amakosu of Ogbejo Warri Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Mobene III. The youth accused men of the Nigerian police from Warri Command, Itsekiri, and the Warri South Local Government Chairman, Honorable Isaac Weyemini, of removing the anniversary banner.
Police will Shakiri people! Police are Shakiri! Now they go come out and keep banner! Look at the banner! This is the police here. Look at the...
For some Itsekiri youths who responded to these claims on social media, they accused the Ogbejo monarch and his people of mounting the banners outside their territory of Warri Southwest. They also claimed that the Nigerian Port Authority NPA area where the banners were mounted is Itsekiri territory. While there were reports of violent attacks from the recent incident, the Delta State Police Public Relations Officer, Superintendent Bright Edafe, was quoted in media reports as saying there was no casualty. However, he confirmed the deployment of officers to forestall further breakdown of law and order in the Warri area. This incident is coming a few weeks after similar unrest in the area where Urobo youths said to be from the Agbara Warri Kingdom and Itsekiri youth clashed over similar reasons as the Olu of Warri, His Royal Majesty Ogiame Atuwashe III, marked his 4th anniversary on the throne of his forebears. The Urobo youths from Agbara Warri had prevented the Itsekiri youth, who were staging a coronation anniversary procession, from passing through their area, which they described as Agbara Warri Urobo territory under the control of His Royal Majesty Kingsley Emakbo Orere Igbi II. The ethnic groups and other stakeholders have since held several press conferences restating their stakes in the oil city of Warri, while also calling for government intervention in the matter. Meanwhile, the governor of the state, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori, who had earlier cautioned all players against fomenting trouble and disrupting the peace that has returned to the oil city, reiterated his stance last week while speaking at a function in Warri. Governor Oborewori also assured the people that his administration will continue to work with all ethnic groups and stakeholders to ensure peace, prosperity and development of Warri and the entire Delta State.
We have seen crisis. It is only my father's house in Igorwe that was not burned down. All the bungalow, all the houses were burned down. I've witnessed it. Do we still want that in Warri? No. What I have to say is for us to have peace here. I want to develop this Warri.
Before now, we had aired part 1 and part 2 of a documentary on the Warri crisis of 1997 to 1999, revisiting the devastating impact of that violence to remind all stakeholders of the dangers of repeating history. In keeping with our mission to foster peace, we now bring you part 3 of the 5-part documentary series produced 28 years ago. This episode captures the efforts of the Delta State government to reconcile the 3 warring ethnic groups through the Justice ALHASSAN Idoko panel of inquiry.
The months of March, April, May and June 1997 will remain etched in the minds of the people of Warri and environs as a dark period in the boisterous but peaceful life of the oil city. It was within these months that Warri erupted in a bloody clash that left so many lives and property wasted. The feuding communities were those of Ijo and Itsekiri over the relocation of a local government headquarters from an Ijo settlement of Ogbejo to an Itsekiri area of Ogidigbe. The age-long ethnic rivalry between the Ijos and the Itsekiris found a bloody expression in the 4-month riots that turned the city of Warri into a major battleground and the creeks of Delta into waters of interethnic atrocities. Government mediators tried unsuccessfully to resolve the crisis through dialogue. Rear Admiral Festus Pobeni was one of those who tried.
Everybody is trying to hold to their ground. Nobody wants to shift. In every negotiation, as a former ambassador, you must agree to shift ground to be able to allow peace to reign. But if you are rigid on your own decision, on your own opinion, and on your own views, then you never achieve peace.
When negotiations failed, the federal government drafted military forces to quell the fighting. But the network of meandering creeks proved a rather unfamiliar and difficult terrain for the forces who could not achieve much success. However, the subsequent appointment of a military task force on the Warri crisis, headed by Brigadier General Ibrahim Karamache, managed to enforce peace for a short while. These enabled the Delta State Administrator Colonel John Dungs to set up a judicial commission of inquiry into the Warri crisis. The panel, which has 3 members, is headed by Justice ALHASSAN Idoko, the Chief Judge of Benue State. The 2 other members are Justice Wada Abubakar Rano from Kano State and Mr. Abdurrahman Hassan Garba from Niger State. During the swearing-in ceremony at Asaba, Colonel Dungs enumerated some of the terms of reference of the commission. As the commission settled down to work, it invited and got memoranda from the warring communities and other deltas, as well as corporate bodies working in the area. About 20 people representing the warring communities, victims of violent clashes, the police, and oil companies operating in the area testified before the commission. Representatives of Nekan, other tribes in the state, and social clubs also appeared before the commission. As the commission progressed with its work, the warring groups could not restrain themselves from further fighting. Sunday, June 15th marked yet another day of mayhem in Warri town. Several houses were destroyed by militant youths. How did the renewed violence start? The different groups have different accounts. Even though most Itsekiri leaders approached declined further comments on the Warri crisis, their lawyer, Isaac Jemide, said people came from the riverine area to attack the Itsekiris in Warri town.
Yesterday, Warri was on fire. Indeed, hell, if you may so call it. Houses were burnt down, numerous houses, numerous. And all these houses belong to Itsekiri people. People came from the water, came into Warri, and burned down these houses in open daylight. Open daylight. In a state where there's supposed to be an authority, lives and property of people cannot be guaranteed and protected.
However, an Ijo frontline lawyer, Fedude Zimwa, gave a different account on the cause of the clash.
On that Sunday, about 11:30 or thereabout, the Itsekiri youths blockaded Robert Road and they attacked two Ijaw youths. One was injured. That one escaped and of course told his colleagues who were guarding the market square. Now, well over 500 Itsekiri youths came. They wanted to burn down the main markets. So the soldiers or the security agents posted there to keep peace, intervene, but it was to no avail. So the two sides met. That is the Ijaw youths and the Itsekiris now slugged it out. They fought. And in no time the Ijaw boys, in fact, dispelled them.
Chief Benjamin Okumagba and Urobo supports the story of the Ijaws.
If you go into it, you'll find that the Itsekiri struck first in this latest round of violence. They killed the Ijaw youths first, along Robert Road and other places, in military uniform.
At number 15 on Mashola Crescent, Mr. Isaac Omagomi says his late father's house, which is home to himself and his brothers, was attacked and burnt. He alleges that the Urobos, who have been the silent third party in the crisis, were amongst the attackers.
In the night, about around 3, another group came and started vandalizing, breaking all our doors, one after the other, looting property. But we could not come out because we were all armed with cutlasses, axes, and I don't know, because I didn't come very close to me, but I don't know whether we all have guns. But we were all chanting war songs around till very late in the morning before the
You said they were chanting war songs and singing. You have been in this state for some time. Can you decipher what language they were?
Yoruba language.
The allegations of Urobo involvement in the attack by Mr. Omagomi was further re-echoed by Madam Erewa, whose number 9B or John Road residence was touched.
Now they go to the house, they bust and they carry television, take a knock ground. Whoa! The television broke. As it broke finish, now they enter Elizabeth's house. They open the door, they tear ram. They tear and they put cloth down. The gist, when he get there, they pack and put. Small time they come for my second grand picking again. They say, you na sheka picking. And that one say, not be sheka picking about Usa. Now the second one say, Basaram. Now the one big man, one huge man, just walk out the car. Now I say, Tebra. When I say make a run come out, now I just see something like a ball. The thing be like ball. Now they stop put for the house. Whoa! Then the fire begin burn. Hey, now I can't remember say my two grand pikin still dead the fire. So I begin, hey, my grand pikin, I go die for Loram, oh. I go die for him before my dead pikin come. Now I go climb fence. Just before I read this, fire down near the 2 grand pikin. Now he take and tear window. When he take and tear window, now I say, ask this senior one, say, where you? Now that one come out. Where Ronnie? He say Ronnie there bottom bed. Run, go carry and come. Now he go carry and come. Now he carry and give them. They run. When they run finish, Robo boys, they inside. Then with the job boys, then they holler Irogo.
Chief Okumagba, however, describes the allegations as untrue.
Our youths have been very, very well contained by the Robo leadership. I say Robo leadership, of which I am a part. None of our youths and no Robo person has been involved in the destruction of anything or killing or fighting anybody since the outbreak of this violence. In spite of all the provocations. In fact, I am tempted to say that God has been on our side, that the youths listening to us, the leadership, what they are trying to do now is to pull them into it.
The spate of attacks on buildings in Warri town have now led people to reenact the biblical scenario when the Israelites were forced to paint their front doors with the blood of lambs in order to save their firstborn child.
What you see now, this house belongs to Agambi from Eku. It's an action people living in Warri have had to take to avoid what they describe as indiscriminate burning of houses.
So in Warri, it is now common to find inscriptions like Urobo House, Ghana House, and Kwale House on buildings. This is supposed to prevent the houses from being burnt by militant youths who look out for only houses owned by Shekiris and Ijos. AIT spoke to Ada Val Arenyeka on the tribal identification of buildings.
So, like Warri main town, as you see, mostly is populated by the Shekiris. They just don't live on the mainland. So what they do is they just come out, attack houses belong to the Shekiris sporadically and go back. So because of that, if I walk along the street, you see that apart from these houses, we have a Agambi of a group, you know, reason outside. There are other houses, you see this house and this house, in order to differentiate those who own each houses so that because of the attack situation.
However, not every house with these inscriptions are spared. This house carries the mark Okwe House, yet it was burnt. Upon investigations, AIT discovered that the house belonged to an Itsekiri lady. Obviously, the youths also do their own investigations.
Some landlords have gone beyond identifying their houses to quitting tenants from the warring tribes. George Ebieshua is an Itsekiri and a staff of Delta Broadcasting Service, Warri. His landlord and Robo issued him a quick notice to avoid the burning down of his property.
When this incident happened on Sunday, I took my family to somewhere, and myself I was in somewhere too. But unfortunately, when I got home this morning, I saw this letter under my door. And I put the letter, said a quick notice that I should move. That since I'm an Itsekiri man, I should move. The house is owned by an Urobo man, and I should move. I was so surprised when I saw the letter this morning. I don't have any quarrel with anybody.
After the Sunday clash, the Itsekiris on Monday, June 16th, withdrew their participation from the Commission of Inquiry, even after the Commission's chairman, Justice Idoko, denied them permission to do so. Isaac Jemide is an Itsekiri and a lawyer for the Itsekiris at the Commission.
Lord, the Commission is supposed to sit in a state of peace or lawfulness, not under a state of anarchy. What's happening in Warri here today, it appears that law and order has broken down completely, and my client's life is completely unsecured. In fact, we are not sure whether we can properly testify before this commission. The end result of all that I've been saying, with the greatest of respect to this commission, in fact, that's why we're here. It is my client's instruction, therefore, that they are constrained to withdraw from this commission. It is with the utmost regret that we're doing this. But whenever, however, the atmosphere is right, this thing that is happening in Warri is brought to a complete end, we'll then reconsider our stand. My Lord, this commission is looking at issues said to have happened between March and May, on the assumption that everything has ended. This is June. We're yet to see, and we've seen the worst in the heartland of Warri. Who knows what will happen next?
Both the Ijos and the Itsekiris have laid evidence enough for us to understand their case on the ground. It remains some of the pieces of evidence from the Robos and other groups to enable us to wind up the procedural here. Now, if you're asking for us to permit you to withdraw, we have no permission to peace. If you want to continue to the end, it's left to you. If you don't want to further participate in the commission, it's left to you. As we said, we already submitted memo. You can expect us to rely on the memo you have submitted, and you can expect us to rely on the evidence you have so far given, and make our recommendations to government. We believe that the commission can go on and finish its assignment, and our decision is to go on and finish the assignment that has been given to us.
After the Itsekiri withdrawal, the Ijos and Urhobos continued proceedings at the commission accordingly. Chief Edwin Clark, a former Federal Commissioner for Information and an Ijo leader, and Chief Benjamin Okumagba, an Urhobo leader, comment on the Itsekiri withdrawal from the commission.
They are not sincere. They said they were coming back. They didn't write to the commission that they were coming back. They wrote to the commission that they were away temporarily. Either they were waiting for certain things to happen to the detriment of others before they would come, I don't know. It's the usual continuation of the Itsekiris looking for a way to cry wolf, wolf.
The Ijos, through Fende Zimoa, are, however, accusing the Itsekiris and some military personnel of collaborating to murder 17 innocent Ijo youths as punishment for the Sunday, June 15th attack.
These were people, the names I've read out to you, were people they killed. And most of them, after, you see, the thing is that this thing happened on a Monday. On Sunday, the Itsekiri paid agents and Itsekiri youths came to attack the Ijo, that is the main market, and Ogbejo market. Our boys, it didn't last them 1 hour to dispel them. None of them died. That is the initiated group. The initiated group can't die. These people they killed were the Ijo youths who came from the suburbs.
As the commission continued its sitting, two major oil companies in the area, Shell and Chevron, were invited to testify. Dozier Okonkwo represented Shell Petroleum Development Company Limited, while Ikechukwu Ogwine spoke for Chevron Nigeria Limited. After receiving oral testimony from about 20 witnesses, the commission closed open sitting.
The Judicial Commission of Inquiry will now visit places that were destroyed during the fighting before turning in their final report.
As the nation awaits the final report of the Justice Idoko-led Judicial Commission of Inquiry, victims of the crisis who have now turned to refugees in their own homes continue to grope from pillar to post, searching for a safe place to stay and something to eat. Mr. Michael Pesu is a grandson of Chief Pesu, whose compound with about 5 buildings was touched. Michael no longer has a place to stay.
The soup and stick. I don't have where to stay, just like that. Even my senior brothers, nobody is having one clothes. We didn't pick a needle from this room. Anyway, I don't have money to buy anything, just like that. No way.
Calm for now has, however, returned to Warri and environs, but observers are saying it is an uneasy calm, as tension still hangs in the air.
Chief Atake has been threatened several times.
I, as a person, have been threatened, and I wish them all the best.
They telephoned me here in the morning of this incident to say that they are dead with Ike Clark and I was going to be the next target. And I wish them good luck along with their Olu.
Will there be another clash between the Warren brothers? Only time will tell. And when the final report of the Justice Idoko Commission is released, will it suffer the same fate as the Justice Nemeka Ago report on the same issue? Only time will tell.
Well, in part 4, which will follow in the coming weeks, we'll bring to you the commencement of reconciliation between the 3 ethnic groups and the rehabilitation of the victims of the crisis. The reconciliation process for the Ijos, Itshekiris, and Urhobos of Warri began with peace moves by Emmanuel Agwarawodo in conjunction with Dark Communications Limited, as it then was, owners of Africa Independent Television, AIT, and Ray Power Radio. Together, they organized a peace dinner and a very successful Warri Peace concert that was attended by the Ijos, Itshekiris, and Urhobos. The event brought together artists and thousands of people from the 3 ethnic groups, all preaching peace and the need for harmonious communal living. Wonderful concert, I must tell you. Watch out for part 4 of the Warri crisis. Well, that's the size of our package on the program for today. Kindly note that you can also watch our program live on our YouTube channel at NDN-TV Nigeria on Mondays at 9 p.m., Tuesdays at 9:20 p.m., and Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. Please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN-TV Nigeria for live updates and many more stories. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, will be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can follow us on our social media handles shown right now on your screens. Until next week, I am MAMODE AKUGHA thanking you for staying tuned. Bye for now.